Hello, hello Pisces. Welcome to your mid-2019 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Pisces. And before we get started, please go ahead and take a moment to subscribe if you like my content, if that feels in alignment with you. And don't forget to check me out on Instagram at Onyx Healing if you would like more readings, more content, more good stuff. And also check out my podcast if you're interested in anything esoteric, anything metaphysical, manifestation. You should go check that out. Now, while I lay these cards down, I'd like you to take a deep breath into the diaphragm, maybe set your intention or contemplate whatever it is that you'd like to get out of this reading, and we will get started. All right, let's take a look at these oracle cards first before we get into it. So we have compassion. Having compassion for yourself, having compassion for others, not in the sense that you let people off the hook or you excuse bad behavior or anything like that, but if you recognize that when people do something harmful, it's coming from a place of their own wounding. And having compassion for that part of having compassion for that part of them is what will help you not take it so personally or not feel it so intensely. So that's what I'm getting will help you. And then of course setting boundaries along the way. We have power. I am strong, I am grounded, I am powerful. I am like a cross between a dinosaur and a tank, but not a tank that's used for war. I'm like a peaceful, loving dino tank who feels so strong it doesn't need to do anything but be. Using your personal power for all of the reasons that I just described, like being able to reframe things so that you remain grounded rather than absorbing everyone else's energy. And then we also have clarity. Refine your communication, be conscious about your true desires before jumping in, witness, reflect, then move forward with purpose. Okay, so that whichever statement stood out to you is definitely the one you were meant to hear. That's what is resonating for you most. Now, this reading is much, much, much different than anything I've ever done before. So what I'd like you to do first is you're just going to pick one of these three cards. It's very important that you only pick one and not more than that because it will stop making sense. So just pick one, tune in to whatever it is that you're needing, or this is going to be the central energy that you carry forward through the rest of 2019. So if you need more time, go ahead, pause the video. Otherwise, this is card number one. We have the Two of Cups. So connection is the primary focus for you, or the central energy. Connection in whatever capacity. This can be romantic. It can also be platonic. It can be business relationships. So consider all of the different ways where connection really makes a big difference in your life, or where you could be using a little bit more of that connection, and you might find that that's what gets amplified throughout the rest of this year. Card number two, we have the Nine of Rods. This is about moving very, very quickly towards your goals. And I see this as you being able to make a lot of progress. If you're starting, if you show up, if you are consistent, then you're going to see a lot of things move forward by the end of the year. So this is like, yes, your energy is worth applying. It's just make sure you're pacing yourself along the way, because that's something where you don't want to move so fast that you skip over a whole bunch of details or fall out of alignment or something. So what you want to do is just make sure you're kind of monitoring that as you go. And then card number three, we have the King of Wands, personal power. And this also has to do with having high energy, high intensity, being able to step into your full self, allow your, I don't normally say this, but like your ego to shine. Like if you if you do something great, or if you make something awesome, show it off. If you have a success, celebrate it. If something really great happens, you know, share it with other people. Like, don't let other people dull your shine. Like, you don't want to do that. This is something where you can step into that vibrant part of yourself, that powerful part of yourself fully, and you don't have to make any sacrifices. Now, this is what's shifting out of your life over the next 6 months. We have the 5 of Wands. This is friction, being almost combative, like energetically speaking, not having clarity over which direction you're moving, kind of trying to piece things together and gain some traction. So I'm getting there was a lot of hodgepodging going on previously. So let's see what the oncoming energy is for you. 3 of Swords. I'm going to clarify this because one of the things that I notice is that the 3 of Swords doesn't indicate, like, the 3 of Swords isn't a destruction card. It's just not something where it's like, oh, you can anticipate some tragedy. What? No, of course not. Don't do that. So let's see what else is going on here just to get some more context. 10 of Stars. So this is the 10 of Pentacles. Ooh, this is an interesting combo that you have going on here. I can't remember which sign it was, but maybe it was Libra. Like, you kind of have to say goodbye to certain things in order to welcome bigger and better things, or you have to allow yourself to grieve and release in order to get super grounded or get the thing that you want. So I'm getting that this is kind of like a trade-off. Like, the 3 of Swords isn't anything destructive or like, oh, you're going to be in so much pain and agony. Nah. It's nothing like that. This has to do with, you really do have to grieve something or let go of something or say goodbye to something that simply doesn't fit anymore in order to create the foundation of what you want. Maybe this has to do with something that you're offering. Maybe it has to do with you no longer doing work that doesn't feel good, or try to think about the 3 of Swords as a conscious release of something that's holding you back, because the 10 of Stars or the 10 of Pentacles is what helps secure your dreams long term. So think about it strategically. It's kind of like, if you want a healthy, wonderful, delicious romantic partnership, but you're with a scumbag, then you should probably break up with the scumbag in order to welcome the better partner. That's kind of how this works. So it seems like you're wanting to remove anything that no longer serves you and is out of place. Then this is what you need to know. If you'd like to take a moment to pause and just check in with what area of your life are you looking at, or what are you really wanting to know more about or get clarity on, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, this will just be general what you need to know. Judgment. Make a decision and stick to it. Know that a singular decision is not going to, I mean, okay, yeah, sure, sometimes this happens, but single decisions typically don't result in long-term effect. It's something where if you're making a decision, it's not like every decision is going to be life-altering. A lot of the time, other things will arrange themselves as a result of whatever decision you're making. So try to carry that with you in whatever area you've asked about, or just in general. Try not to raise the stakes of your decision making, and instead come from a place of alignment and clarity in order to make decisions. I'm going to clarify this card as well, see what else the Judgment card wants you to know. We have the King of Stars. So this is the King of Pentacles in a normal deck, and I'm seeing this as like you've got it. There's more ownership than I think you're giving yourself credit for that you realize. So the King of Stars is definitely shining through that Judgment. It's like the foundation is there. It looks like you are getting more grounded. There's a lot more support than I think you're recognizing. regarding your decision making. So trust the support, trust your ability to create stability in your own life, and focus on your success stories. What are other times that you didn't know how things were going to turn out and they went okay? Focus on all of those wins that you had previously. Now let's get into the timeline. First, second, third, and fourth quarter. That'll be where you end the year of 2019. Each quarter is about 6 weeks or a month and a half. So quarter one, we have Page of Pentacles showing up and starting something new. Maybe you've initiated a new project, or you're starting to grow something. It looks like the Page of Pentacles is just reminding you that it's safe for you to show up and do or take whatever actions feel right to you. That's 100% within your jurisdiction during this first quarter. And so I'm just seeing that this is a good time to experiment. It's a good time to show up. It's a good time to try some things out. Now the second quarter, we have the Star. Everything's working out in your favor, even if you can't see it. Things are progressing behind the scenes, even if you can't see it. And it's a hard place to be, right? You want to see the results. You want to see the tree bear fruit. And the Star is just like, no, you have to hold space, but sometimes it takes a while for everything to trickle in. So in the meantime, it's just like, become laser focused on what it is that you're calling in, because that creative power is what's going to help you keep faith. Like, have the expectation that your needs are going to be met. Third quarter, this is Page of Cups. Show up with an open heart. What I mean by that is, be willing to be vulnerable in whatever ways are necessary for you to grow and expand at this time. The Page of Cups is really about allowing yourself to feel the feelings, not judging yourself, but instead having compassion for yourself, and also showing up in a way that is more tender and more receptive than usual. So maybe if you feel as though you've been jaded, or you've been burned too many times, or any number of experiences that can be had that can shift your belief system for the negative. This is about taking it back to basics, like a time before all of those negative experiences. That's what's really going to help you in this third quarter create new reality. Fourth quarter, wrapping up the year of 2019, we have Temperance. So it looks like you're finding your stride. Everything's kind of smoothing out and going back to the way it needs to be. And you're just finding that internal balance and equilibrium in your environment as well. So it seems like there's a large part of your personal transformation that's going along with that as well. It's just that expansion, that next stage. And I think it all starts when you show up here, and then that continues to progress until you really start taking off as things are getting smoother at the end of the year. So let's do a 3-card pick. You're welcome to pick as few or as many cards as you'd like. You can ask whatever you want. This is an oracle deck, just so you know. So it's definitely not going to read normally. Card number 1, we have, all of these are probably going to be upside down. This is hiding. So maybe you're hiding from your truth, hiding from your desires. There's something that I'm seeing you hide from yourself. So this is about kind of taking the blinders off, looking at exactly what it is that you're creating, desiring, longing for in this lifetime, in this incarnation, and stepping up to the plate. So that's the work that you have to do. Have compassion for the wounded part of yourself. Have compassion for that part that feels like it can't go on, but remember that you have to show up if you want to create something different. You can't hide from it. Card number 2, we have No Bull. So this is be blunt, be straightforward, do not hide how you feel, don't censor yourself. This is a time to expand. It's a time to just carve your path, be really intentional with that, and that's going to serve you super well. Card number 3, we have laughing and crying. So remember that everything can kind of be perceived with a mixed, it's all a mixed bag all the time, every day, every experience. Some people perceive things as good, some people perceive things as bad. You can hand somebody a gold brick and they'll tell you it's too heavy. So it has nothing to do with the experience, it has everything to do with the internal world, and that's what this is helping you to master. That's what this is reminding you, to take control of the internal, and that's what's going to support you. But there's a multitude of different ways that you can look at each individual experience. So try not to get too fixated or too locked into any one mindset or one way of thinking about things. Try to loosen that up a bit. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. I absolutely appreciate you more than you could possibly know. Don't forget, if you didn't watch all 3 of your sun, moon, and rising, make sure you check out your other videos. And you can check out your Mars and Venus if you're a triple sign, so if you have the same sun, moon, or rising signs. But I also want to let you know, if you are interested in topics about intuition, being psychic, all things esoteric and metaphysical, check out my podcast. It is super, super awesome. I have loved doing it. So please check that out. I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Onyx Healing. If you need to work with me one-on-one, you know I'm always available for you. So the description box has all of the links to work with me, as well as my meditations, my podcast, all of that good stuff. And don't forget, if you would like the mid-2019 overview love and relationship reading, those are now out on Patreon, bundled with the July reading. So you get 2 readings in one on those videos if you'd like to check that out. Otherwise, I also do weekly sign-specific readings for Patreon as well every Friday. So all of that good stuff is available to you. Check out the description box for anything that you're interested in, or if you just want some more content. And go ahead and have a beautiful rest of the year, everybody. I am sending you so much support, so much love, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.